What's going on, Gothamite? Today we are going to go kick some serious alien butts. We're gonna march into Metropolis and we're gonna kick that red and blue clown back to Krypton. But before we do that, we're going to need the proper armor, because he can literally rip us apart, even with the armor. Might be a lost cause, if you ask me. In this video, we're going to be working on the upper body armor with the shoulder pads, the gauntlets. Anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. So yeah, I'm going to start off by drafting out my templates on cardstock paper like I normally do. And once I get the shape that I like, I'm going to go ahead and cut them out on some EVA floor mats. And glue them together like this. Then I'm going to apply some heat and get my forms and curvatures where I need them so I can place it on my mannequin and work on the back piece. Now it doesn't really matter what the back piece look like because you're gonna have a cape over it. So I just drew up some designs and then I cut out the shapes that I wanted, and then I took it to my sander and rounded off the edges, and then I went back and glued it all back together so I can get this really nice cool beveled design texture, I guess. I don't know. So far this is what it should look like. Now I'm working on the lower chest piece. I'm mocking it up. Once I get the shape that I want, I went ahead and cut it out, glued it all together, and went back and attached it to the rest of the chest piece that kind of rounds over to the rib area. So at this point, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to connect the back to the front. I went ahead and made this temporary bracket thingy for the back until I can finish up the front. Here I'm sketching out the abdominal pieces. I went and drew them in multiple sizes and they pretty much look the same. Eventually they're going to stagger on top of each other. Once I got it all glued together, I took it over to my sander and I beveled off the edges for some smooth whatever. And now it's time to figure out how to attach these abdominal pieces to the rest of the body armor. I took some poster boards and wrapped it around my mannequin, and I sketched out the template, which I'm going to cut on some fabric and trim them down to size and then mock it back up, make sure everything fits right. Then I will sew all the edges in, take my ruler, and I'm going to mark it about a ½ inch in. This is where I'm going to be applying glue on. Before I do that, I need to trim the upper abdominal piece and glue it onto the rest of the body armor. And after I do that, then I'll glue the fabric onto the rest of it. Then I'll proceed to glue the rest of the abdominal pieces to it. So far, I'm liking where this is going, so I will move on to putting on the neck guard. Just gonna go completely around his neck, adding on some additional accents to the abdominal area. And now that I figured out how I'm going to attach the front to the back, I went ahead and cut out my fabric, glued it onto the back piece, added some Velcro, which will attach to the other Velcro on the abdominal piece. Then I'm going to take my X-Acto knife so I can carve in some details and apply some heat so the details can pop a little bit more. As for the shoulder pads, I took some towels and wrapped it around this mannequin's shoulder and took some masking tape so I can draw out the designs on it. Now if you don't have a mannequin, use your buddy sitting right next to you watching this video with you. Here I have the patterns cut out on my EVA floor mats and I'm going to glue them together. So far, this is what it will look like. Got some strip of EVA foam. This is long enough to wrap around my bicep, and I'm attaching it to the shoulder pads with some elastic so it'll fit snugly. I found this round thing that I'm going to cut out and make another round thing that's going to hang off the bottom of his bicep. I don't really know the purpose of this, but I think it's starting to look really cool and I like it. Now it's time to move on to the gauntlet. Now this is actually my second attempt, and I went ahead and cut out a bunch of strips just long enough to wrap around my arm, giving myself just a little bit of extra space so I can have some bulky gauntlets on my arm, like Popeye almost. The top half of this gauntlet is about 4.5 inch wide, and then the bottom is about another 4.5 inch wide, which basically brings it to the length of my forearms. So I'm going to roll up the pieces and glue the ends of them together. So I have this round thingy, and then I'm going to glue both round thingies together, and it's going to start to resemble this Batman gauntlet. Now I'm cutting out some strips about 1 inch wide. They're going to have an angle on both sides. I'm sanding down the surface so the glue can adhere. Going to apply some contact cement, and then I'm going to attach the strips to it along with some other additional strips. This will give it the three-dimensional whatever you want to call it. Now I'm attaching these fins, these spikes, these other things on his gauntlets, which I don't know what they're called either. I'm trimming them down to give it that aerodynamic feel, so whenever he jumps off a building, he can soar, glide. Not really. Taking my X-Acto knife and carving in some details, opening them up with some heat, and it should come out looking something like this. Awesome. So far, this is what it's looking like. I've already started working on the back belt and the thigh guards and the whatever, but I will show you that in another video. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I hope y'all learned something. I already got the belt made and thigh guards. I'm still working on the shin guard. Hopefully I'll have that video out like in a week or so. And this video shout out goes to Robert Kitchens in Durant, Oklahoma. I think that's a few hours away from me actually. And I also want to give a shout out to Mustafa. He is in Istanbul, Turkey, and he's working on his Batman mecha suit too. He's been waiting for this video, and I just want to give him a shout out. I hope this video helps you out too. If you know anybody who's working on a Batman mecha armor, share this video with them, and hopefully I can help them too. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, like me on Facebook, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already subscribed. And yeah, I'll be putting out a video only viewable to my subscribers, because we are going to do some cosplay giveaways. So make sure you subscribe. I'll be putting out a video very soon.